episodes of TLC Talk Radio. It's DT on our minds. Welcome to the show. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Hey, Dana. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, at, of course, DT on our minds. Of course, as always, we have some things to share with you, things that are obviously on our minds.
Yes.
And I think I did a lot of talking in episode 1.
I think we were pretty balanced.
Okay. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I was tired and I felt like I did too much talking.
I think you're fine.
What's on your mind this afternoon?
I'm tired of people shooting people on the expressway.
That. Agreed.
Yeah.
Shooting people generally, but how innocent are you to just be driving down the expressway on your way to wherever?
Exactly. And just shot out of nowhere by no one
Right.
Obviously. It's just so random. Like, I'm really into psychology.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this, but I have this kind of morbid curiosity about serial killers.
No, I watch all of those shows. Not when it's dark outside because I'm also a weirdo. But yes, I get it.
Yeah, but I started reading like Dr. Death in like 7th grade.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's been a long process of me,
Yeah.
trying to get into the psychology of serial killers. So I want to know the psychology behind random shooters.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Like, is there some kind of profile for that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Because it's craziness. And did you know that all those cameras that are along the expressway don't record?
Because that's why you should have cameras for decoration.
Well, I think it's just to see what the traffic looks like at the time, so it's live streaming, but you probably should record some of that because you would catch people who are shooting people on the expressway faster.
So, right. So wait, so that I'm clear. The expressway cameras are there for traffic monitoring?
Yeah, to see, when somebody does the traffic report and they're like,
sure,
inbound on the Eden, it's whatever.
Absolutely. But it didn't occur to anybody that, with technology, and now you don't have to have these big, ginormous pieces of technology. We couldn't dump that to somebody's server somewhere.
Keep it for a week or something.
2 weeks, 3.
Something. I mean, it should be stored for an amount of time.
That makes sense to me.
Just for accidents or shootings.
Right.
So we catch idiots. Or people who are speeding like crazy.
Yeah, and about to kill everybody. When I'm driving and I see that, this is probably horrible to say, but I literally pray, not that they get into an accident, but I say, God, if they're going to cause an accident, can it be a single car accident?
Right.
Because the rest of us, we were driving regular.
Yeah, I mean, I drive fast. Don't get me wrong.
But I'm certain you're not reckless.
I don't go in and out like a crazy person. Like I don't, go in between. I don't do like what was that movie, Cannonball Run, and I don't go underneath trucks and go.
Oh, Jesus.
Like I'm not crazy. I will go fast, but I'm also keeping up with traffic. I'm
Certainly.
not, flying past traffic unless it's really bad. But.
I don't know what she meant, Your
shoulder. I drive rule-ish.
Not near. Comment from over here in Peanut Gallery.
But I'm safe, but I'm quick.
Okay. I know someone who drives that way. I won't say their name live here on tape. Well, here on tape, but absolutely, I get it. Have you ever considered that? Well, it happens to me. Sometimes, depending on what I'm listening to.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look at the speedometer and I'm like, oh. This is probably.
Yeah, my daughter apparently inherited that as well. My dad used to race cars before I was born.
Oh, you can't help it.
Yeah, it's kind of a DNA thing.
A Dana.
But she told me, because I have a really, not slow car, but it's not a sports car by any stretch of the imagination. and it's got a digital readout, and I have never thought that it would go above the 90s, but she found out it does.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why would you do that?
She didn't get a ticket, did she?
No.
How
No,
did
no.
you find out that she went
She
that far?
told me.
Well, I appreciate her telling you. Because I wouldn't have said a
I
dang
said,
thing to my
"You
mother.
shouldn't in my car, no. Because
Yeah.
I need new tires, and that's not
Yeah,
a good
this
idea.
is a poor decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to the baby for sharing.
Yeah, she does share good stuff, but yeah, I'm like, you need not to do that in my car anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
And never do it in the truck because it will just fall apart.
Yeah.
'Cause she
Also, we
drives
don't
a
want it to tip over.
Nah, they wouldn't tip over
No.
unless she took a really
Well,
fast
yeah. We're not
turn or
down with the.
something.
Yeah.
No.
We're not down with any of these things.
No, no, no.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that those cameras don't record anywhere.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm. I heard the same complaint about some of the police cameras around the city that, oh, it wasn't working.
Really?
Why? Why is it not working?
Shouldn't you
Like,
test
don't
that
get me
before
wrong.
you leave, or
Well, that and that's funny, but I get that things malfunction, right?
Right.
That, but
4 of them at the same location? It's a little iffy.
and so it makes you wonder: did they ever work? Is it that they're not malfunctioning, but they didn't work to begin with? I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I don't
Right.
want to start getting random tickets
Like
from the city, but I'm just it makes you wonder things that make you go, yeah. So I wonder if not being transparent that these just never worked, and so we're just telling you it malfunctioned. Yet with the highway cameras now you're finding out that hey,
I don't
They're-
record.
we don't record. At least they work though.
Yeah.
I guess.
Allegedly. But how hard is it to get something to record off of that? I mean, you already have it coming into
Something.
a location.
Mm-hmm.
So how hard is it to just,
Here in 2019.
and just... Speaking of 2019, I'm going to need some men to realize it's 2019. Back to my daughter again. She is a mechanic, and she's been trying to get a job with some place to be a mechanic, a shop.
Sure, that makes sense.
And her first interview, she went into it, and the man said, "You can't be a mechanic, you're a woman." 2019.
So,
2019.
I mean, he let those words come out. Well, did he crack a smile?
I don't know. I wasn't there. But if I was there, yeah.
He wouldn't have cracked a smile.
No. Something been cracked, but wouldn't been a smile.
Shots fired. So, so I have a hard time sometimes wrapping my mind around ignorance.
Yes.
And so, what was the rest of the conversation?
I don't think there was one. I'm pretty sure she just stood up and left. Because she's that kind of person, like, okay, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
I can't deal with your dumbness.
Yeah, we don't deal well with foolishness, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to leave. And that makes sense. That's wise. Because you don't know, I mean, with this kind of antiquated view, who knows how he might have responded if she, said something to dispute his incredibly antiquated view. If we're talking about something that requires a lot of detail, and I don't believe in putting people into stereotypical roles. I don't believe in speaking in generalities. But if we were going to speak in generalities, women pay a lot more attention to detail.
That's why we're better shooters, too.
Yes, this is true. I learned that in my
Yeah.
concealed carry class. Absolutely.
We're much better.
Yeah, I didn't. That was not a statistic. I was just, walking around with it in my back pocket. But when he said it, I chuckled. And because first of all, the class was full of women. And I was like, oh, okay, we out here. I don't have time to fight. I tell people all the time, I'm out of shape. You got to go. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to be outside like Clint Eastwood.
Right.
But
I am going to protect myself.
Man, I'm not going. I am the last kid my parents have left. The
And
end.
I'm the only child, so
Yeah. We're not going.
nope.
Yeah. And things are crazy out here. I think that's a good segue. Episode 1, we talked about rideshare safety. And since that case in Maryland where the young woman got into a car mistakenly and was kidnapped by someone who was not an Uber driver,
Right.
there was another situation. I'm sorry, that one was not in Maryland. This case was in Maryland, in Montgomery County. This man posed as a rideshare driver, and the woman got in the car. I'm guessing she didn't check the plates, but she, got in. The driver said, "Oh, your address is not coming up." Now, that sounds like that could be a technological issue.
Only if you're on Lower Wacker in Chicago.
Exactly. And so if you're not, I guess, if it occurs to you, because that could legitimately happen. But me, and I don't know if that's just me being raised in the ghetto, I don't trust, trust people. I lock everything and I'm always looking around. But that should have been the first clue. But if that's not your experience, you don't know that.
Right.
Excuse me. The parents of the young lady who was unfortunately murdered, her name was Samantha Josephson, and her parents were on Good Morning America this week.
Okay.
And they gave a lot of, suggestions. Check the plates. Get in and ask the driver, "What's my name?" Or, before you get in, not get in and ask. Then you're kind of, behind the 8 ball.
Right.
But, "What's my name?" If they don't know, leave. But I think checking the plates is important. But they also gave a different suggestion. And that was for rideshare providers to put stickers with QR codes in the passenger windows.
Interesting.
And so then you scan it. If it's,
Yours is
it turns green, and if not, it turns red. And I thought that was an excellent, simple,
and easy
idea. Yeah, and it could be built right into the app. I mean, I'm sure some tech savvy person could get that going in 5 minutes.
Probably a woman.
I love you so much. Absolutely. I'm sure that could be, and I think that would be a wonderful thing. But until, that part happens, I'm pro technology, obviously, but we do have to remember that some things we can just check. And one of the points that the young lady's dad made was that in some states, front license plates are not required. So as the car is approaching you, you can't see it.
Right.
But I'm that chick. I just told you I was raised in the ghetto. I'm walking around the car, and I mentioned last week that someone was annoyed. I guess I was delaying his start, and he wanted to get going. I don't know you. Let me look in the back and make sure this is the car, because the information is there. I want people to be careful not to blame the rideshare companies.
Right.
And as I mentioned before, I'm not victim blaming either. I just want everybody to be cognizant of the precautions that are already in place.
Right.
And I think, hashtags, "What's my name?" was a good start. And, social media, quick 30-second PSAs, that'll all work. I think it's a matter of awareness.
I think you should actually say the wrong person's name when you get in. Because they have their names, right? I don't remember. I've done it.
They do.
So
you get each other's. I've never used Lyft, but my understanding is that it's very similar to Uber. I get the driver's name, and he gets my name and photo.
Right.
And so that is, we're supposed to know who's who. And I'm standing outside and I'm checking.
And you should.
I'm like, who are you? I don't know you. Somebody brought up a point that we've always raised our children for years, decades, to not get in a car with strangers and to not meet up with people that we meet on the internet. And what do we do now? We take to the internet to get in the car with strangers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, right. Just Makes you question a lot, doesn't it? Like, why
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. This just popped in my head, so we're just gonna free it
on
right
our
now.
minds.
I've been
We
seeing,
do some production, ladies and
yes,
gentlemen.
some, but today we're a little off the cuff. We'll
Yeah.
go with that.
I love it.
So I've seen a lot since what's that church? Notre Dame
Yeah.
burst into flames the other day. And how people have been donating whatever, and then I see tons of memes of why aren't they donating to this and why aren't they donating to
That's
that?
actually on my notes. I told you we produced it.
It popped in my head. I must have seen it, but I'm sitting this far away and not wearing my glasses, so I don't know if I could actually read it.
I saw a tweet, and sometimes you don't know if those are, created tweets or if it's real. I did try to do a search, and I didn't see the account anymore. But
That's shady.
right. I don't know if she took it down but the quote was from someone whose name is Kristen Higgins, and the quote reads this way: "Speaking as a Catholic here, please don't donate to help Notre Dame. The church is worth $30 billion. Donate to help Puerto Rico recover. Donate to get the people of Flint clean water. Donate to get kids out of cages. Jesus didn't care about stained glass. He cared about humans." And after I finished laughing,
Yeah.
I chuckled. I said, "Oh, well."
Yeah. I've seen that one. And also, have you seen the one that compares it to black historic churches that have burned down in the last
I have
couple of
not
weeks?
seen those.
Okay, so I guess 9 of them.
Yeah,
But they caught the
arsons,
guy
they
who
did.
was a cop's son.
Sheriff's son, and his dad turned him in.
Yeah.
Kudos
I
to him. I know
Good
that was
for him.
difficult.
Oh, yeah. But it's kind of apples and oranges.
I agree.
Not that I have anything against either.
Of course.
And I do want, both to be redone, not, but don't we have insurance on things? I'm just wondering.
I agree with that. I think Notre Dame certainly has insurance.
I would hope so.
Right. And if this figure is correct, I don't know. I'm not Catholic. I'm not privy to the financials of the Catholic Church. If that number is anywhere near clear, then they're
And
good.
it's got historical things in it as
Absolutely.
well.
Absolutely.
Which they saved, I guess, a lot of. Which is awesome.
The crown of thorns allegedly worn by Jesus as he was led through to be crucified, and some other relics. I'm sorry, my brain fails me.
That's okay. One of them was the organ, which
Yes.
is it did have some damage, but it'll be repairable, not a problem.
That's good.
I also wonder why it's going to take 5 to 10 years to rebuild it.
I don't know, because I'm planning to go to Paris in 2 years, and
Right.
I would
and
like
we
it
ain't
to
gonna
be
see it because
just walk by and
be like,
I'm really
that's what
glad
it
no one
was.
was hurt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with the historic value behind it. Some people care, some people don't. I saw my cousin post. I got the alert on my computer at school, and I saw my cousin post, and it just said, "I am so incredibly sad right now." And they went to Paris maybe a year or two ago, but she didn't say why. And so I was like, all right,
Okay.
Tragedy's been hitting our family in the back of the head with a bat for weeks now.
Right.
What else has happened?
Right. Please tell me what is
Right.
happening in our family.
And then her sister chimed in, "Oh, we're talking about the fire at Notre Dame." Okay. And again, I don't want them hurt, but I couldn't take any more for us.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I'm all good, please. And so I agree with you when you compare the churches being burned down by arson here versus the Notre Dame. I think, obviously, that it's just not the same thing.
Right.
But I'm glad they caught dude before somebody caught dude.
Right.
Real talk.
Exactly. I mean, but again, we have insurance on these things. Like, if you don't have insurance on your churches,
Yeah.
what do you do? You doing wrong with your money?
I hope that they had insurance. I'm praying they did. I'm gonna just go with they did.
Okay,
That makes me feel
they have
better.
Insurance.
I can't imagine that they wouldn't.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
how would you not? It's a space.
But you'd be
You
surprised
need
how many
insurance on
times people think, I guess when people are in, and I'm not talking about the churches because I have no idea, but you'd be surprised how many people will juggle things and skip something and not realize it lapsed. That happened to a relative of mine who ran into a financial situation, didn't say anything. Please tell your people if you need some assistance. I get it, it's pride, or you think you can recover. Say something because
Pride ain't going to
unfortunately,
pay for the bills
Right.
at all.
At all. And so what ended up happening was this relative put the insurance on hold for a moment.
Mm.
It lapsed before he could recover,
Oh.
and then he got sick.
Ugh.
So now you're uninsurable.
Yeah.
And that was tough.
Yeah.
Whereas if the conversation had been, hey, Tasha, I'm gonna need some. No way would we have, because look, that's cheaper than the funeral.
Oh, yeah.
So we would want your family taken care of. So am I gonna put $50 to $100 in your hands so that your children can be taken care of exponentially?
Right.
I don't even need the $50-$100 back. Please don't
just
ask me to pay for the casket.
Right.
I
I'll
can't.
take care of it.
And like, here's $100
Take care of
versus
that
this
stuff.
$7,000 box.
Right.
Thank you.
And why
Yeah,
are funerals so doggone expensive?
girl, that's funny.
That's another story.
Yeah, I just had that conversation with my electrician friend,
Really?
and I said,
Oh, and it's horrible up here. Like when we buried my dad, it was like so much cheaper than when we buried my ex-husband's dad. Because he was buried up here. My dad was buried in Southern Illinois.
way different.
Way different. Well, and it's a black and a white funeral. It's way different as well.
I would imagine. I found out that you can, and I helped my cousin through the planning of his dad's funeral, my uncle's funeral, and it's tough. And so we wanted to be there with him, but I said, look, you can order the casket from Amazon and have it shipped right to the funeral home.
Really?
Costco.
I know.
All
My
of
mom
them.
wants this red one that's at Costco, and
That's
I'm like,
hilarious.
I can't deal with you.
You give your mom whatever she
Yeah,
asks for.
she's like, I want a red casket, and I want you to play Under the Sea. Okay. And I want to be buried in a crypt. All right.
Yeah. Whatever you want, Mom. I get it. But
Whatever
yeah,
you need.
it gets expensive, and sometimes when people are dealing with guilt, that wasn't the situation with us, but when people are dealing with guilt, then they feel like they need to do this big flashy,
Right.
homegoing service, and I want my mama to have the best. She doesn't know.
Yeah, she ain't there.
Yeah. She left.
So you're just making it big for your relatives.
Yeah,
Not for
and
her.
to appease your guilt, my uncle said to my cousin as we were sitting around, he said, "Don't spend all your money. First of all, your dad wouldn't have wanted that."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "But if you want to spend, $8, $9, $10,000 on a box you'll never see again, go right ahead."
Okay.
And that was the funniest thing in the middle of funeral planning I had heard in my life. But he was telling the absolute truth.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, whenever, I don't know personally because I've never been to a European funeral, but they're basically just pine boxes.
Okay.
Boom, we're done.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I told
I mean, I
people,
see them a lot in movies, so I
Right.
might be wrong.
I don't know. I told people I didn't care what they did. My request is that it's a memorial versus a funeral, meaning, not having my body there. And I'm a picture person. I would like me a lot. I have a healthy dose of self-esteem.
No.
And so pictures of me everywhere. This sounds great.
I look down and say, yo, you did it right.
Good looking out. Yeah, but it's bananas. People will play on your grief.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is not good.
There is a Facebook game that I've seen.
That we've all seen if you're on Facebook.
And apparently it gives you the opportunity to ask or state something to one of your Facebook friends anonymously. And I could see the good and the bad. So
How can you see the good?
I've seen people who were too afraid to say anything, say something. And depending on how the person responds. So, for example, someone said to my cousin, I have been, I'm paraphrasing, I've been attracted to you for so long. I can't understand why you're not married. I've always been afraid to approach you. And his response was, well, please don't be afraid. If you're who I think you are, don't be afraid. And so now that may boost their confidence to go, all right, maybe I should go to the inbox. I could see it appeasing Phil.
Okay.
But then the other day, I came all out of character. Privately, I didn't do it on Facebook, but I was angry. My friend Elaine is the most kind, wonderful, beautiful, caring. She's just like, if you don't like Elaine, it's you.
Okay.
And so she's just very kind and pretty popular within our high school alumni group because she's so fabulous, and also because Coach Brown was her dad. So somebody took that anonymous game as an opportunity to say, you're overrated. And I don't know why it made me so angry. Like, I surprised myself with the venomous things that came to mind. Venomous. Like, I know how to control my mouth, but my brain
just
And so I shot her a text. And that's good. First I snapped, and I was still very polite about it. I was like, this is either some dude who wants her or some woman who wants to be her.
Right.
Get your mind together. And I was like, and you're a coward. Because
Right.
if she's overrated, tell her she's at everything.
Why are you friends with her on Facebook?
Because she's not overrated. You're overrated. See, I'm still mad. And
No.
I'm still upset because anybody that I don't want to get down with, I just unfriend.
Right.
But-
or at least unfollow so I don't have to see you in my timeline.
Exactly. So secretly, you want to see everything it is she's doing.
Uh-huh.
And she's so kind. I think that's what bothered me. She's the kind of person who would never intentionally, not that people are going around here doing that, some are, but she would never do anything to upset you or hurt you. If she thought she did by accident, she's apologizing profusely. There's not a mean bone in her body. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you gonna pick at Elaine? You gonna pick at Elaine? Right. I said, okay. Well, me and Tammy, that's my other friend, who is not so diplomatic. We're like, we got this one. Hold on. And then I said, let me go to bed because
This is going to get ugly.
this shouldn't be. It's Facebook. I need to go to sleep. It's not that serious.
Not that real.
But I find it interesting. That's true, though, of most bullies. They hide behind something, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter.
Well,
They
I
can't
wouldn't
say.
say most bullies, most cowards.
Cowards. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bullies are, they're pretty much out there just
Yeah.
doing their due.
You're right. You're absolutely right. They may come off with bullying language, but they're
Yes.
never going to act on it because, as you said, they're cowards.
They're cowards.
That's unfortunate. I just, say what you're saying. Approach me and say it, especially if I'm as visible as you think I am to call me overrated.
Right.
That's classic projection. I know you like psychology.
Yes, I do. I should have been a psychiatrist.
You'd be great. I told you.
I know, but I want to be in school until I'm like 50.
So
5.
yeah, but you're gonna live till you're 130. So I mean,
There's that.
see, you could do it.
I'm thinking about it.
You could do it. I don't understand. I don't. Just people are.
Yes, they are.
I love people. I am a people lover. But then
Oh.
sometimes I'm like,
I am the
quit making me
complete
look stupid.
opposite of you.
What? You're so friendly.
I am very friendly. It's people one-on-one I'm good with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 1-on-12 to 15. But as
Oh.
a whole,
No, I get that. Okay, absolutely. I understand what you're saying. But I mean, if you leave me down here long enough, I'm going to talk to the chairs. So I can talk to whoever.
well, that's the only childish aspect of your life. Yeah.
But I'm like, hey everybody. That's just who I am.
Right.
But other times I'm like, I can't stand you crazy folk. Why are you out here acting like this?
Right.
Or
Like
shooting people or saying mean things or, starting
abducting
crap.
people.
Abducting people.
Why?
Killing people. Just incredible.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah. Uh, it's frustrating. It's enlightening. I guess it's like anything else. Day to day, you take the good with the bad. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get it. Today was a tough day for me at work because two of my students broke a third laptop in my classroom, and I have been in a crappy mood ever since. Because I'm like, just you're on your way to high school.
Oh, you breaking
Why
things. Like
are you tearing up? Why, Jesus?
like break it, like throw it off the desk, break it, or software malfunction.
Touching a computer, they shouldn't have handed it off to somebody who literally took his hands away and said nope, and then it hit the ground.
Oh, wow.
So let me write you up because I ain't buying it.
Wow.
But the direction was line up and don't touch anybody else's computer.
Oh.
See?
If we follow directions, maybe. I find that most students are not very good at following directions. We have that problem at my school.
Mm-hmm.
The cafeteria closes in the morning after breakfast.
Sure.
At, what time is it? 8:30, 8:34 or something ridiculous. How many students do you think come in after that?
100.
Mm.
Yeah, I know them. I've been
Like,
in education.
who are you?
Go home.
Learn, like, hello? Learn time. I understand.
Learn time.
Like, I get it. Now, I am one of those crazy early people.
Sure.
My daughter lives on her own time.
Mm-hmm. Nefera time.
Yes, Nefera time, which is half black and half white time. So I don't get to
Hilarious.
mixture. I have friends who are Native American. They believe they have their own time as well.
Hilarious.
So I get it, but you're at school.
Yeah. It's not any different than the people who stroll into class late and then wonder why. Well, why can't you go back over the assignment? I taught it already.
Yeah.
Now, if
done.
you were legitimately absent or you were legitimately late, not you're late every day.
Right. They're
know.
yeah, because they're classic offenders.
Mm-hmm.
in
It's
the
always
morning.
the same 100
Like,
kids.
how can you not get here? We have a late start day. They're late on that day.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, how are you late on a late day?
We, at my church, apparently service would start when people came before my cousin became pastor. When a majority of people were there, then it would start. And we are Annie Clapton's grandbabies. She didn't
That's
do
not
that.
a thing.
We didn't, that's not what we did. Our parents, no,
No.
that is not what we do. And so right after a couple weeks, pastor said, y'all gonna miss a lot of church if you think that I'm going to wait on you to start.
Right.
He said, you see that pretty girl over there? That's my wife. We got stuff to do. We got dates to go on. All right. So service started 10:45. All right. It's not even like an 8 o'clock service.
Right.
Get here.
It's not that hard. It's not like you're showing up at 6:30 in the morning. Come on.
But I can't wait until we're big enough to have an early service like that. Because that's where I'll be.
Really? Well, you got to be at both, don't you? Because you run the.
I'm going to
media
have a
situation.
deputy. I'm going to have a deputy media director. All right. See y'all later. Bye.
Send me the footage. Bye.
Right. Pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a post positive for today?
We do not have a post positive today because I couldn't find anything positive today on Facebook.
Well, what about the way that Samantha Josephson's parents are using their tragedy to
Teach others?
educate others? Absolutely. I can't imagine what that's like.
Me either.
To lose your child. That's
Right.
first. But then to be coherent enough to go, we have to warn others.
Right. Because everybody else's baby is getting into a stranger's car.
Mm-hmm. Now that's kudos to them. Kudos to the Jeffersons. They certainly are in my prayers and thoughts because that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so needless. Like you killed my baby
Right.
for nothing. Not that you should ever just kill people, but
Well, not that there's a reason that you have to, but
right, just girl, yeah, that's too much. I think that's a good
that is good.
yeah, good positive way to end episode 2. I like chatting with you about what's on our minds.
I do too. I like how we come up with ideas and we didn't talk about it before.
Right, that just means we're in sync. Well, we worked together for years.
Well,
so,
yeah, there's that.
We're pretty smart.
Mhm.
We are professionals.
Yes, we are.
Well, again, from the studios of TLC Talk Radio, you've been listening to DT on Our Minds. I'm Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Indeed. Don't forget to follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, IG, and YouTube at DT on Our Minds. And we will catch you next week.
Peace.